Hey guys, how's it going? Guys, this is Harris again, and today I just want to show you something real quick. So, for a lot of people that don't know, I do a lot of custom work on my computer. I do a lot of water cooling with my computer, and almost all the builds that I've done so far are water cooled in one way or another. But in the water cooling market, a lot of people might know of some fittings by Bitspower. They are quick disconnect fittings, and the whole point of quick disconnect fittings is once you have them in your loop, it becomes very easy to basically disconnect your components for maintenance, for upgradability, or in case of a spill, or and they look very cool as well. So I mean, there's a cool factor, but they have all these other benefits as well that come with going with one of the quick disconnect fittings. Now, the way the fittings work, you have a male fitting and a female fitting, and they basically connect together to create a seal that will stop the fluid flow once you disconnect the two parts. So I will show you that in a second here. Also, these fittings are not cheap. They're usually $20 a piece. So to make one male female connection, it's $40. And let's say if you want to have 10 of them, depending on multiple radiators or multiple pumps, it can become very pricey very quickly. So you can easily get like 10 fittings for $400, 12 fittings for $400. The price does vary from brand to brand, but they are expensive. Um, so let me show you how they work. This is a Bitspower fitting. This is a female fitting. So something like this, you can basically connect with your radiator. And then on the other end, you can put a compression fitting here. And this end will connect with this bottom portion of this fitting here. Now I wanted to show you this specifically because I noticed that I ordered about 8 Bitspower fittings, and 4 of them have this very serious issue where the fitting is not usable. So if I take this fitting here, and you notice that I have some grooves on this other fitting, I insert this portion, I press it, and it's tough to press because there's a lot of pressure. So you notice that now this seal is formed in a way, but if I bring this closer, let me try to focus here. So if I bring this closer, do you notice that little circular thing at the end? That is supposed to go all the way to the right side of this fitting if you lock it. But it seems like when this was machined, it wasn't machined accurate enough for it to lock properly. So if you're using this in your water cooling build, and God forbid if some of the tube twists very lightly, the tube that is connected here, if that twists slightly even, there we go, and this thing will become loose. It will obviously stop the fluid flow, but it's not functioning as it's supposed to. It's not locking properly as it's supposed to. So, with me having this issue with 4 of my fittings, that's quite a bit of money that, well, first of all, it's a time issue where if you need a build done and this doesn't work correctly, you will have to send it back and get a replacement. So that's an issue there. And secondly, also, it is scary to have this thing come loose and, God forbid, having some fluid leak on your system. So keep that in mind. Now, luckily, I did order some other fittings as well. When I ordered these guys here, I also ordered some Koolance quick disconnect fittings, which are about the same price. They run about $19 per male and 19 per female. So again, they're expensive fittings. So you want to make sure they're working right. Their cost, depending on how many you get, they might cost more than full loops that people might have. So this is the Koolance fitting. It's in black. Not as fancy as, you know, the Bitspower. I do like the Bitspower fittings. They look really nice. So these fittings have some caps on them. Let me remove this one here. A little bit tight. Okay. So again, you have two fittings. One is male, one is female. On the other end here, you have a compression fitting actually, which is really nice. So if you have tubes that are running and you want to put disconnects in the tube, these are excellent for that. I do believe the build quality is better on, it seems better on the Bitspower fitting, but again, with that little issue I showed you, that kind of defeats the purpose of having a fitting like this. Now to use this fitting, basically you take one end, you take the other fitting, you connect them together, and all you have to do, you have to press this really hard because there are springs in these fittings, so you have to make sure you press them really hard. So here is what a joined fittings looks like. And I really like the release mechanism of this fitting. It's not as complicated as the Bitspower, where you're twisting it and you're putting tension on your tubing. So I like that. Here you don't have to do any of this. If you notice here, this says pull. So to release this fitting here, all you do is you press down, and there we go. So did you notice how fast, and these things are heavy, believe it or not, these things are very heavy. If you ever hold a compression fitting in your hand, this is maybe twice the weight of a compression fitting. But as soon as I released it, you notice that this thing just went far away. So ideally you would hold both ends, you would basically, okay, you would basically have it this way. Connect it, you put your other hand here, one hand here, pull it, and there we go, it just comes out. But the locking mechanism on this fitting is very quick. It locks very quickly, so that means you're going to have less fluid spilling, maybe 1 drop maximum. With this fitting here, I had at least 4 or 5 drops on this end, and maybe 3 or 4 drops on this end. But here, this is only 1 to 2 drops maximum on each end. So again, if you're looking at quick disconnect fittings, I would go with Koolance. This is the Koolance QD4, and I would ignore the Bitspower. Even though I love Bitspower, their quality is second to none, and the aesthetics are very nice. But in this case, where you're running, you know, thousands of dollars of hardware, you don't want a fitting to fail, and you might end up losing your hardware. All right, guys, if you have any questions, let me know. This is what I would recommend. I purchased these from performancepcs.com. Again, they are not cheap, so make sure you do your research before you buy them. Oh, forgot to mention they do come in other sizes as well. This is 1/4 inch and 3/4 outer diameter. Same with this one here, 1/4 inch and 3/4. But they do come in other smaller sizes as well. All right, guys, thank you.